Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with me, Diamond Racing. Today I'm going to give you my first 6 races of the what if or alternate universe in the F1. Go watch this video if you want to see where every driver is, because I think it's very exciting. Just to give some spoilers, the world champion changed teams from Red Bull to another team, so go watch that one if you want to know where every driver is. But yeah, let's get started with it without any further ado. The 2024 season is on its way and there's been some exciting changes. Hamilton is the new driver for Red Bull. While he replaced Leclerc that won the championship last year, he chose to go to McLaren because he sees better potential in the future, whatever that may be. And there's some other changes as well. We are here at Bahrain for the first qualifying session, and this is how it went. Hulkenberg grabbed the first pole position of the season in the Red Bull, beating out Norris in the Ferrari, and Hamilton, the new Red Bull driver, and his new teammate in third. Yuki Tsunoda was in fourth, Magnussen fifth, Leclerc sixth in his new team, Piastri 7, Sainz a good qualifying from the Haas driver, Bottas in ninth, and Stroll in 10th. In the race itself, Hulkenberg and Magnussen had a coming together, the Ferrari and Red Bull driver. Piastri runs in the back of Hulkenberg as well, so that's just drama everywhere. And Hulkenberg broke his front wing. Not a good start from a pole position driver. Sargent had a big lockup and he made a mistake, and the stake one of Max Verstappen had a very, very long pit stop. So at the end of the race, Hamilton, the new Red Bull driver, won his first race with the team and grabbed the fastest lap on his way out. Norris in second, Tsunoda a third, very good performance from him. Leclerc fourth, Zhou fifth, Magnussen sixth, Stroll seventh, Hulkenberg after that dramatic start ended up 8th, Sainz 10, 9th, and then Piastri 10th. So yeah, Hamilton leads the championship with the first round, and Red Bull with only 4 points ahead of Ferrari. Race 2 was in Jeddah, another Saturday race, and in qualifying, Zhou didn't set a time because he crashed in FP3, and Sainz, who had appendicitis, was replaced with Oliver Behrman, and he had a great qualifying after in Q1, but in Q2 there was no power in his car, so he couldn't set a time in Q2. So in the end of the Jeddah qualifying, Hulkenberg again was on pole for the second race in a row. This time alongside him is going to be Leclerc in McLaren, a very good performance. Hamilton third, Norris fourth, Tsunoda fifth, Magnussen sixth, Stroll 7th, Piastri 8th, Albon 9th, and Ricciardo 10th. A very interesting race as the Alpine of Russell had a gearbox issue. Stroll crashed in the McLaren. Hamilton had a 5-second penalty for unsafe release, and Magnussen had a 20-second time penalty for driving erratically. The stake car of Ocon had a long pit stop this time, and Ricciardo decided to give a spin for us in the Aston Martin. So in the end, Hulkenberg won the race from pole position, Leclerc in the McLaren second, grabbing the fastest lap on his way, Hamilton third. So again, Hamilton very consistent, Yuki Tsunoda fourth, Norris fifth, Piastri sixth, Magnussen seventh after getting that 20-second time penalty. Ricciardo was 8th, Albon 9th, and Zhou 10th. So in the drivers' standings, Hamilton is still leading the way, 10 points ahead of Leclerc, surprisingly. Hulkenberg was third with 39 points. So that's the top 3. And again, Red Bull way in the lead in the Constructors' Championship. Our third race, and it's the race down under at the Australian GP. Sainz is back with the Haas, which is very good for him. Let's see how he can perform here. Qualifying, Leclerc made a mistake on his last lap, so he couldn't better his qualifying. And Perez has a 3-place grid penalty for impeding. And well, in the end, Norris surprisingly has pole position in the Ferrari, Magnus and his teammate second, making it the Ferrari 1-2. Stroll in the McLaren third, a very good performance from him. Hulkenberg can only get fourth, Hamilton fifth, Leclerc sixth, Zhou 7. Bottas in the Racing Bulls, a very good performance from him, eighth, Tsunoda ninth, and Ricciardo 10th. In the race, Hulkenberg had a mechanical failure. Red Bull's first one in a while, so Hulkenberg DNF'd, and then Tsunoda as well DNF'd. Alonso had a long pit stop, as well as Verstappen. Gasly got a 5-second penalty, and Russell crashed the Merc. So that was Russell crashed. So that's not very good. So in the end, Norris won the race in Australia, Magnussen being P2, Leclerc finished P3 with the fastest lap, and Stroll 4th, Ricciardo 5th. Hamilton had a very, very struggling race. He finished only P6. In the Red Bull, Zhou was 7th, Bottas 8th, Piastri 9th, and Sargent scoring points in 10th, which means Norris is in the championship lead in the Ferrari, only 4 points ahead of Hamilton, and then Hamilton 2 points ahead of Leclerc. So this is so far a very interesting season. And Ferrari overtakes Red Bull with only 7 points in a Constructors' Championship. Let's see if Norris can take the fight to Red Bull, or is it just the lost cause? Our fourth race is going to be Suzuka, Japan being much earlier than it usually is. And the qualifying was quite normal, but Hamilton got his first pole in the Red Bull, which is very awesome to see. His teammate second, Tsunoda third, a very good performance from the Japanese driver. Norris only fourth, Piastri fifth, Leclerc sixth, Ricciardo 7, Stroll 8th, Magnussen 9th, and Alonso in the Alpine getting in the top 10 in qualifying. A very good performance from him. In the race, Ricciardo and Alonso both hit each other and both DNF'd. So that awesome qualifying from Alonso was undone by Ricciardo's poor start. And Ocon's gearbox popped and Sargent just went straight through, finishing last. It was a very interesting race between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Norris going from 4th to 1st. He and Hamilton had a very, very spicy battle, the two Brits, but Norris came out on top. Hamilton just behind him in 2nd with the fastest lap, and Hulkenberg 3rd. Hamilton and Norris was the outstanding drivers, and yeah. Tsunoda in his home GP 4th, Piastri 5th, Leclerc 6th, Magnussen 7th, Stroll 8th, Bottas 9th, and Zhou 10th. In the championship standings, Norris is now 10 points ahead of Hamilton, and Hamilton being 13 points ahead of Leclerc. That mechanical failure in Australia hurt Hulkenberg a lot, and in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari is just 4 points ahead of what's his face, Red Bull. And we return to China for the first time since 2019, and I promise you it's going to be a banger of a race. In the sprint qualifying, it started to rain at the end, so anybody had a chance, but first place was Lando Norris, having an exceptional lap, getting his first sprint qualifying pole. Second place was Gasly in the Haas, very, very good drive from him. And third place was Alonso in the Alpine, the weather really helping these three drivers out. Hamilton was 4th with Magnussen 5th, Hulkenberg 6th, Leclerc 7th, Piastri 8th, Tsunoda 9th, and Ricciardo 10th. In the sprint race, Norris makes a mistake on the first lap, leading to him going way back. Alonso had a puncture due to a battle with Magnussen a lot. So Alonso's again had a good qualifying that's just destroyed his race. Well, which he didn't have the chance to use because he destroyed his race. So in the end, Hamilton won the sprint race with Magnussen in second, Gasly a third in the Haas, only if it was just a real race. Hulkenberg was fourth, Norris fifth. He could just hang on there. Leclerc seventh, Tsunoda seventh. Sorry, Leclerc sixth, Tsunoda seventh, and Ricciardo eighth. So in Q1, Sargent spins it, and Hamilton had a lockup. So let's see if Hamilton gets out of Q1, and he doesn't because he ruined his race by locking up, and he could only qualify in 17. So that's not very good. But Hulkenberg, his teammate, was on pole position with Leclerc second and Stroll third, Piastri fourth, Ricciardo fifth. Norris had a shocking qualifying, only sixth. Zhou seventh, Magnussen eighth, Russell ninth, and Bottas 10th. In the race itself, Verstappen had a DNF, Stroll locked up into Piastri, and Stroll received a 10-second time penalty, but Piastri was DNF'd. Sargent got a 10-second time penalty. Magnussen hit Bottas, trying to overtake Bottas. Bottas DNF'd, and Magnussen got another 10-second time penalty, and Russell had a long pit stop. I hope he can get by. In the end of that race, Hulkenberg led from pole, and he finished the race first, with Ricciardo having a very good performance in an Aston Martin, going from P5 to P2 and has fastest lap. Leclerc was third. Leclerc just couldn't fight Ricciardo. Norris could only manage fourth, Zhou fifth. Hamilton finished sixth after the comeback of a century. He drove like maniac. Alonso scored Alpine's first points of the season, I think. Yes. Finishing P7. Russell, his teammate, finished P8. Gasly finished P9 in the Haas, and Tsunoda was 10th. So in the championship, Norris is still 10 points ahead of Hamilton in second, and Hamilton is 10 points ahead of his teammate Hulkenberg in third. Very interesting, and Red Bull overtakes Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. The last race of this video, I'm only going to do this six races every time 6 races passed. So let's get the last race in Miami done. So Bottas had a 3-place penalty, and Albon started from the pit lane with the sprint qualifying. So Bottas almost had a big crash. That's why he's getting the penalty. So Hulkenberg in Miami had a sprint pole with Magnussen second, Hamilton third, Sargent fourth, Leclerc fifth, Ricciardo sixth, Sainz seventh, Stroll eighth, Russell ninth, and Norris had a bad qualifying, only managing 10th. In the sprint race, Hamilton locks up and goes straight. Magnussen and Hamilton fought like the whole freaking race. Alonso makes a mistake, and both Magnussen and Hamilton picked up penalties, so that destroyed their race. Hamilton only finishing P19 with Magnussen P20th. Hulkenberg won the race from the sprint pool, didn't have any contest there. Ricciardo finished second, starting from 6th. Leclerc was third, Sargent fourth. Sargent in the racing pool was fourth after he qualified fourth. Very good drive from his home race. Sainz was fifth in the Haas, very good. Stroll 6, Tsunoda 7, and Norris scoring 1 point in 8th. In the normal qualifying, Ricciardo has Ricciardo has a penalty because he made a mistake in the previous race. But in any case, Norris got qualifying pole position with Hulkenberg second, Stroll third, Magnussen fourth. Hamilton could only achieve 5th. Bottas in the racing bulls is 6th, Tsunoda 7th, Leclerc 8th, Piastri 9th, and Alonso 10th. Again, a top 10 finish for an Alpine driver, which is incredible from Alonso. Just to say, Stroll has the upgrade package for the McLaren. Leclerc has only the half the upgrade package. That's important for that what's about to come. In the race, Verstappen hits that thingy, you fought the race, and picks up damage. Magnussen hits Hamilton. Again, Magnussen gets a 20 and a 30-second penalty, and Hamilton DNF'd because of that. A very big crash. So he's helping his teammate out a lot. Sainz hits and broke Verstappen's wing and gets Sainz a penalty, and Stroll gets a 10-second penalty as well. So in the end, Norris won from pole position. Leclerc almost had him, but I think if he had an upgraded car, Leclerc maybe could have won, but Leclerc just couldn't handle the raw pace of Norris. But Leclerc did overtake and pass Hulkenberg in P3, Tsunoda in P4, Stroll in P5, Piastri in P6, Zhou in P7, Sainz scoring for us in P8, Ocon scoring for Stake in P9, and Bottas scoring 1 point in P10. So after that dramatic race, Norris is ahead with 118 points ahead of Hulkenberg with 97 points. Hulkenberg and Leclerc have the same points, but Hulkenberg had more wins. That's why he's ahead of Leclerc. And Hamilton is now in 4th place with 84 points. Red Bull is still in the lead, with Ferrari 2nd with only 181, where Ferrari has 166 points. So it's very interesting, and I really looking forward for the rest of the season. McLaren looks like they're picking up the pace. Stroll is just making lots of mistakes. But Leclerc can maybe have a title push again. Winning 2 years in a row, 2 different cars will be amazing. That has never happened before. And Norris looks very strong. Let's just hope Ferrari can keep up the pace. And Hamilton will probably have a better second half of the season because he always does. And Hulkenberg is consistent at the moment. So we'll see between these 4 drivers and Tsunoda in 5th who can win the Drivers' Championship and who will be the one to win everything. Have a nice week and enjoy the Imola race this weekend. You'll know what happens in my universe after the next 6 races. So enjoy it, and please leave a like and subscribe. This takes so long to do. I enjoy it. So cheers.